Now that your balancer is assembled, Kelly Baraka is going to help me demonstrate some of the basic functions of the Harwin Balancer Mini. Before beginning, I would like you to go to the video, the instruction video for the Harwin Balancer Plus. And at the very beginning, there is a number of awareness exercises that I would like you to do. While you're walking, it'll tell you how to walk and pay attention to your feet and how your pelvis is moving, how your arms are moving. And it'll help you tune into your body at a subtler level than you're normally used to paying attention to it. And by doing this, you will begin to understand much more quickly and easily how the balancer is helping you and what it's doing for you. Kelly Baraka is here and she's going to demonstrate for us how to use the mini balancer effectively. There are 5 different positions, and you're going to stand in each position for approximately 15 seconds only. And you're going to go from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 and then to 5, and then you're going to step off and walk. And after that, you'll do a second series. Hi, Kelly. Thank you for joining us.
Sure, my pleasure.
Let me have you step onto the balancer and move your feet to the first position. So the first thing you want to notice is that when Kelly stepped on, she didn't try to be in the exact right position. She stepped on in the most comfortable position for her for stepping onto a standing platform. Then she adjusted her feet back to the first position. When using the mini balancer, be sure to have your head up and your eyes level. By doing this, you will get much faster and deeper results. When the head is forward and the eyes are looking down, the front of the body is activated, and it's like driving your car with the brakes on. The more we're in neutral, the deeper and faster the balancer can work for you as it reorganizes and coordinates the kinesthetic sensors inside of your body that help us organize movement, effective movement. And when the head is forward, the effect of the balancer has to overcome this resistance of all the tight muscles in front. When you bring the head up and the eyes level, you bring the body into a neutral. And so the balancer doesn't have to overcome this tremendous resistance, which it will do in time, but it'll just work slower for you. So by bringing the head up and the eyes level, you'll get the quickest results possible. And I think that's what we all need to keep our health and our walking secure. The first position has her heels off of the back of the platform, approximately an inch. Now as she goes to the second position, her heels are just in front of the hinge in the back of the balancer. And let me have you move to the third position now. So you notice that Kelly is bringing her feet up so that her big toe is projected over the front edge of the platform. When you stand in this position, it's a little bit like standing on the edge of a diving board. It's like having the board underneath you kind of wiggle and bounce up and down a tiny bit, and you feel your body responding as well. Even though the body may not have large movements, internally you can feel that it's adapting to a changing platform. And that's what this position feels like. Notice how Kelly's feet are parallel. You want to have your feet reasonably parallel. If one of your feet naturally turns out, don't force it to be parallel. Just over time, allow the balancer to gently encourage it to come back in so that the feet are somewhat level in that way. And now we'll go into the fourth position. Kelly steps off, turns around, steps back on in a reverse position. In the reverse position, her big toe is projected over the back edge of the wooden platform, approximately an inch to an inch and a quarter. You'll stand for 15 seconds, and then you'll go into the fifth position. So you'll step off, turn around, and the fifth position is identical to the first position. Just about everyone who uses the Plus or the Mini Balancer talks about feeling taller after they've used it. Getting taller means that your muscles lengthen, and many of us have very tight muscles from a sedentary lifestyle or old athletic injuries or any number of things that can create tightness in our body. And so as we get taller, sometimes there are some muscles that don't quite let go as easily, and that may be because there's scar tissue or adhesions in the white tissues. That's the ligaments and the fascia of the body. And those adhesions and scar tissue respond more slowly. They're the repair product of injury and trauma. And so they respond more slowly. And so if you're using the balancer and you're going through the 5 positions and all of a sudden you begin to feel soreness, or a muscle becomes very, very tight, step off the balancer. Walk for 40 seconds to a minute. Let things walk out and let the muscles relax, and then after you've done that, then step back on again. Once you come on again, most likely you're not going to have the soreness and the muscle will no longer be tight. But if it still is tight, if it's still reactive, and I want you to remember that the only reason a muscle is going to feel tight or you're going to feel soreness is because your body is lengthening and those muscles are chronically or characteristically shortened. And so they have to open up again to allow that lengthening, that powerful, deep and subtle lengthening that the balancer creates. So if you get back on the second time, and please go on again, and you still have soreness, step off. Walk again, 40 seconds to a minute, and just finish that session. That's the end for the day. Or use it again later in the evening, if you wish, or the next morning, and you'll probably feel that you're just fine. If for some reason you still have soreness after going through this protocol of backing off and walking through it, then what you want to do is you want to use the balancer for shorter periods. So instead of the 5 positions being 15 seconds each, you might just do 5 or 6 seconds each, and then walk it out after you've done the full cycle, and just do 1 cycle. Same thing if you have an active and fresh injury in your body that your body is working on healing at the moment. You might find that it's very sensitive and doesn't like to be pulled on too much. Even though it's good in the long run for the muscles to lengthen and for you to get taller, if you have a fresh active injury, it's a delicate situation for a short term of time. And in that period of time, you want to use the balancer much less, shorter periods. So you could even stand each position just 5 or 6 seconds and then go through the series, just do 1 round. Otherwise, walk in between and then do a second round and do that twice a day. If you don't have time to do both cycles in the morning and the evening, then in the one where you rush, do a single cycle, and the other one later do double cycles. If you use the balancer in the morning, what it does, it tunes up your system so that you're stronger and more resilient during the day, so that your balance problems, your injury imbalances are much more stable during the day. If you use the balancer in the evening or before you go to bed, what it does is it undoes a certain amount of the compensation that was created during the day for your body dealing with the imbalances and the stresses that it has to operate through. In using the Balancer Mini, it's good to do 2 cycles. So you stand on it, you do all 5 positions, you step off, you walk for a minute or 2. You stand on it again, you do all 5 positions, and then you walk for a few minutes. And that ends your session. Do that twice a day, morning and evening preferable. If you're feeling soreness and you find that the balancer, instead of taking away your symptoms, actually makes your soreness a little more prevalent, then step off immediately and walk it out. Another advantage that I've built into the Harwin Balancer Mini is that if you use a walker for stability when walking, you can walk onto the balancer with your walker. And Kelly's going to demonstrate that. And she steps right on, and the walker's there for stability. If you have balance problems, even mild balance problems, and you don't walk with a walker, when you use the Harwin Balancer Mini, I highly recommend that you get a portable walker so that it will give you stability while you're standing on the balancer. As you'll notice in my other product, the Plus model, which is the clinic model that's also used in many homes, it comes with rails that are solidly attached. And that's so that you have stability. You have rails to give you confidence if you have balance problems, and you have rails to hold on to if you have balance problems. It's very important for one to be safe, and it's also very important to feel safe, which means you feel more comfortable. You feel secure. Whether you're not sure if you need it or not, you still feel secure. If you ask yourself the question of whether you need it, you should have it. You bought the Balancer Mini, you're going to use it for the rest of your life. It's going to help to tune up your coordination and your walking stability on a day-to-day level. And it's very important to set it up so that you are the most comfortable you can be to gain the best results. And if you have balance problems already, it's just basic respect of your body and of what's needed and your own safety to then have a walker so that you can stand with something that you can hold on to with the Mini Balancer. The great thing is you can fold up the walker, You can pick up the Mini, you can put them in the trunk or back seat of your car so easily, and you can take them anywhere with you.